everyone, our topic that we will discuss today is how the new technology in the context of data automation and artificial intelligence give impact to the accounting profession. So first, we will start with the meaning of the new technology. Okay, so what is data automation? Data automation is the process of application machines to automatically perform a task once performed by humans. For example, a robotic vacuum cleaner can clean the floor itself without much need of directions. In this picture here, you can see that general accounting operations, cash disbursements, and revenue management were the most used by data automation and can be fully automatable. For example, accounting firms use automation to extract information from tax documents and import it directly into tax return. Finance professionals use data automation to extract data from contracts and leases to create journal entries and footnotes required by the accounting firms. Okay, next is artificial intelligence, also known as AI. AI is the use of computer system to stimulate humans' intelligence process such as learning, reasoning, and self-improvement. For example, AI can help in decision-making, choosing which route is the fastest way to reach your destinations. So, companies today are embracing and implementing technologies to streamline their business operation. And one of the operation which is on top of the list is accounting. So, in this bar graph here that we took on CB Insight, we could see that over the years, companies are starting to increase their fundings in AI startups. This is because AI is providing positive results such as increased productivity, improved accuracy, and reduced costs. So with so many benefits, AI is used increasingly for administrative tasks and accounting, resulting in various structural changes.
We found several systems of data automation and AI that help the accounting profession, which are ERP, API, and RPA. ERP is a short form for Enterprise Resource Planning Software, which basically exists to automate routine business processes and store data in a centralized location, not only making the data readily accessible to all users who need it to perform tasks, but also enabling automated communication between the departments. Another form of ERP automation involves new technologies such as AI. The incorporation of AI within ERP system may shift employees away from performing repetitive and routine tasks to handling and analytical and creative tasks that can easily be handled by AI. ERP helps ease tasks such as financial, sales management, and inventory management. It enables the interaction between departments and the automation of those interactions. For example, in sales management, as a new sales order gets processed, the software may automatically prompt interaction with the inventory, finance, and shipping departments. This type of automation of ERP software may yield multiple benefits, including fewer routine errors and intended duplication of data and streamlined communication, leading to time saving and lower operational costs. Also, the consolidation of data in central database enables companies to perform enhanced data analytics, providing support for more informed business decision-making throughout all levels and areas of the organization. Next is RPA, which stands for Robotic Process Automation. RPA is a software technology that makes it easy to build and manage software robots that mimic human action interacting with digital systems and software. It is basically more or less the same as ERP, but RPA is more complex and costly. It is because in ERP, the whole process can be executed in a single flow. But in RPA, different processes require different types and number of robots. For your additional knowledge, RPA is becoming increasingly used by large audit firms and replaces several human activities in the financial audit of the set of annual financial statements, which is an algorithmic approach, could be presented as a succession of 4 stages. The first stage is defining the role of the auditor and the terms of employment. The second stage includes planning the audit that would include deadlines, details, and the department covered by the auditor. The third stage is compiling audit information, or more precisely, collecting and cleaning information from accounts and financial statements. And the last stage is preparing the auditor's report. RPA is a perfect tool to assist as the middleman between legacy software and ERP application, allowing an accountant or auditor to maintain the traditional software industry benefits while leveraging the performance addition completed by the RPA implemented in the ERP.
Okay, another software that data automation and AI help the accounting profession is API, which is known as Application Programming Interface. This software helps to establish an online connection between data provider and the end users, which smoothen the data automation and AI process. In this picture up here, you can see that process of how API works. First is the web app. In the browser, we request information. For example, when we want to know a hotel rates on certain dates and time, we will search in a browser and request information from it. And from that, API will be used as data transmission to get info from the database of the hotel business and give it as a response to us. Okay? In accounting, API often helps in management accounting, bookkeeping, payroll, invoice taxes, auditing, cost analysis, and many more. This is because all the users did not need to search files cabinets for documentation, as they can easily have access to digital files through API. And one of the most popular accounting API is Zero Payroll API. Zero is an online accounting system designed for small businesses and their advisors. It tracks API and exposes the application payroll related functions. It can also be used for a variety of purposes, including sending employee details and importing timesheets. The new technologies such as data automation and artificial intelligence has given a big impact in accounting professions, as companies today are embracing new changes in technology and implementing it into their streamline. As the development of technology increases over the years, most of the simple tasks could be easily done by machines. Therefore, the changes in the technology would be beneficial for the accounting profession or a threat.
What can we do to protect ourselves from robot automation?
The CEO explained that machines will replace traditional labor.
This is all about artificial intelligence and how much faster it can process.
Human labor is never going to be cheaper as we get more advanced, and we're just going to have to adjust to that and deal with the results.
For 3.3 million years, humans have developed technologies to make our lives easier. These inventions made us more efficient. It meant we didn't have to spend as much effort working to survive. But each new development came at a cost. When bronze tools were invented, all the guys who made stone tools were driven out of work. And when iron tools came along, all of the bronze workers lost their jobs. When the Industrial Revolution hit, it wiped out the livelihoods of millions of cobblers and weavers who had to adapt or get left behind. And this process continues today. Only now it's happening faster. Much, much faster. All kinds of routine jobs have become automated in the past few years, thanks to breakthroughs in technologies like robotics and radio frequency identification, computing, and high-speed networking. And at the same time, another powerful force, globalization, is making it easier for companies to move jobs overseas where wages are lower and regulations are less stringent. In the past 20 years, these two forces, technology and globalization, have wiped out millions of American jobs in manufacturing, from Detroit's auto plants to North Carolina's textile mills. And it's not just manufacturing jobs. We're now entering a dramatically new phase where high-skilled jobs are also at risk. Here's why. Since 1965, computer processing power has roughly doubled every 2 years. All of the computing power that controlled the Apollo mission to the moon can now fit on the chip inside your smartphone. And in a few decades, computers will be thousands of times more powerful than they are today. Already, computers use artificial intelligence to easily beat the world's greatest chess masters, recognize faces, understand spoken language, and even compose music. They can do many of the things that we've always thought made us human, and that threatens many of the jobs we've always thought were secure. Take driving a vehicle, which is one of the top jobs in most states in America. With driverless cars already on public roads, millions of truck drivers, bus drivers, and taxi drivers may soon find themselves obsolete. In hospitals, hundreds of thousands of jobs are on the line. As computers learn to analyze CAT scans and biopsies, deliver low-level anesthesia, and even do surgical procedures. And in restaurants, hundreds of thousands of cooks may be replaced in the coming decades by machines that can follow recipes perfectly without ever taking a sick day or a smoke break. An Oxford University study predicts that within 20 years, 47% of all jobs are at risk of being replaced by technology. That's over 70 million people. And at the same time, globalization is also affecting high-skilled jobs in ways that it never has before. Law firms, for example, are beginning to outsource work to lawyers in developing nations who are trained in American law. These lawyers can do legal research and even review contracts for a fraction of the cost of an American lawyer. Now, just as technology and globalization destroy jobs, it's important to point out that they also create jobs by generating new industries and new markets for American products. We don't know exactly what the future is going to look like, but we do know this. Millions of American workers, white collar and blue collar, young and old, are about to face enormous, difficult transitions. We're living longer than ever before and will be forced to change our jobs more often than any people in history. We're going to need to learn new skills constantly throughout our careers to keep from being left behind. This revolution in the job market is not coming in the distant future. It's happening now, and it's going to accelerate. It's going to affect all of us, our friends, our families, and our communities. Are you ready?
Will accounting profession will be disappear over the time? Okay, this issue will be discussed more in the next presenter.
Thank you, Mira. The first issue is about the emergence of AI and data automation in the accounting profession. As we enter the 21st century, technological trends are emerging to change how we use information technology resources, share knowledge and experiences, and obtain products and services. These trends are also impacting and supporting innovation in cybersecurity, digital service delivery, robotics, augmented and virtual reality, and artificial intelligence. The new normal is taking shape. Accountants are part of the interconnected world both in practice and in finance. This is altering how people communicate and collaborate with those companies with whom and for whom they work, as well as forming new working patterns. Accountants can use it to automate and de-skill time-consuming and repetitive tasks, allowing them to focus on higher value work and consolidate their role as financial and business consultants. Traditional accounting labor has the characteristic of repetition and had tried to slow down when it comes to the transformation and upgrading of the accounting sector. In the accounting industry, the use of AI and data automation can reduce inefficiencies and provide poor added value, allowing accountants to focus on more creative work and add more value to the firm. To summarize, the use of AI and data automation in the accounting sector will accelerate industry development and innovation while also increasing company competitiveness, which is critical. However, the rise of AI and data automation raises some concerns for accounting professionals. So one of the issues that has arisen as a result of emergence of AI and data automation is whether or not AI and data automation will take over the accounting profession. Why?
Okay, let's see from the AI perspective first. As we can see today, many firms have been using AI to analyze large amount of data at high speeds, which would be difficult for a human to do. AI and machine learning will provide accountants with better access to a broader range of near real-time information from a broader range of sources. AI allows accountants to inspect and use data in more depth. If we look at accountants' ability to audit with regards to looking at the bank, for example, then we can look at them much faster. Applying AI to data sets can also help in reducing fraud by providing ongoing financial auditing processes to ensure companies are in compliance with local, federal, and, if relevant, international regulation. AI algorithms are used to quickly scan through big data sets and identify potential fraud and suspicious activity. It combs through past behavior of different transactions to identify unusual patterns such as deposit or withdrawal from other countries that are sometimes larger than normal sums. In addition, AI helps to reduce fraud with digital banking, especially as the volume of transaction and data increases. It looks for suspicious and dishonest payment that could have slipped through the cracks due to human error.
Okay, how about the benefit of data automation in the accounting profession? Automation brings greater opportunities for the accounting profession as help reduce transactional and routine tasks such as data entry, bookkeeping, and compliance work, and allows accounting and finance professionals to focus more on added value services. This includes advising clients and providing strategic insights on critical financial transactions. Besides that, one of the most time and labor-intensive elements of the audit process is collecting all the necessary information. Using an automation platform allows organizations to integrate data from disparate sources and provide complete visibility to ensure that no information falls through the cracks.
The widespread use of AI in many companies has left an impact on accountants and given them challenges in their profession. One of the challenges is the accountant required new skill sets and competencies, the way human and machine could work efficiently and effectively together. If accountant fails to adapt to this new business environment, it will affect their reputation and will drop behind. One of the accountant's most required skill is the technical expertise in machine learning and the depth of knowledge which depends on the organization size, investment policy, and innovation strategy. Despite these factors, it is important for accountants to understand the significance of quality of the used data. Next, it would be difficult to know in advance how successful machine learning will be. Explaining how a specific machine learning model works can be challenging when the model is complex. As an accountant and auditor involved in industry with heavy compliance burden, they have to use simple machine learning to explain how every decision was made. Complex models can produce accurate prediction, but explaining to a layperson how an output was determined can be difficult.
Accountants also may have faced significant challenges in adoption automation in the industry and financial services in general. This might include data quality issue, data leakage, and privacy issue. High costs associated with the implementation of automation. Impact of processing errors through bots. Bot-related errors can impact in generating incorrect results. Further, can increase the number of errors and mistakes. The hazard of totally trusting software conduct highly customized, complex labor in particular remain extremely significant, while the benefit of automation have yet to be proved. As a result, accountants have become overly reliant on technology. Although computer software can create accurate financial analysis, these technologies rely significantly on individuals who can deliver exact computer instructions. Experts can also spot operational difficulties early on, such as software crashes, and help with remediation.
Despite the advantages of AI over accounting, AI also has disadvantages. Firstly, AI will never be able to match the complexities of human intelligence. Human intelligence is associated with diverse learning and experience. When compared to the machine's equipment and programming foundation, human memory, its recording capability, and the human body as an element may appear insignificant. Yet, the depth and layers present in our brains are far more unpredictable and complex that machine actually can't beat, at least not sooner rather than later. Besides that, Professional accountants do so much more than simply keeping track of receipts. They are consultants who provide advice on numerous areas of tax, planning, operation, and others. AI will not be able to take over that function in the near future.
Meanwhile, for data automation, disadvantages generated by the interaction of robotic automation process, which is RPA, in accounting and auditing activities, is inability to adapt to uncertainty. While operating according to a well-defined program systems, robots are unable to cope with uncertainty. This weakness is evident in the situation where they are forced to react in some instances that are not predetermined by man because the chance to resolve the situation is impossible. For example, skepticism in the audit profession. Other than that, high risk of possible errors and malfunctions. No matter how intelligent and functional a robot is, like a sick human employee, it can also make specific errors. Implicitly, there is a dependence in qualified personnel, which is no matter how independent a robot may seem to us, it is non-existent without a human force behind it, since the robot depends on what a person wants, the one who intervenes in its modification, updates, and repairs. As a result, the persistent idea that AI and data automation will destroy the accounting profession is completely false. We have come a long way from the Terminator's near-human robots, and there is still many things that humans do far better than technology, at least for the time being. AI and data automation will assist accounting personnel rather than replace them. Rather than replacing accountants, AI will enable them to concentrate on higher-level activities that require human intuition and insight. Meanwhile, automation is perfect for mind-numbingly repetitive activities that do not require the expertise of a degree accountant or CPA. Additionally, some automation software make use of AI and machine learning to go beyond pre-programmed rules. AI and data automation as an accountant replacement myth is really just more of the hype that will be proven wrong. In fact, automation will make accounting work more fun and make things easier for the modern-day finance professionals, especially when we are talking about commercial finance that require information from across business divisions such as sales and marketing or logistics to be analyzed. Meanwhile, AI is an opportunity for accountants to take a more valuable and higher level of work by becoming strategic business consultants capable of providing key customer information. Therefore, companies must embrace technological changes and offer staff development workshops to train workers on the application, tasks, and relevance of automated accounting systems in order for personnel to remain relevant in a dynamic organization. There are some key tips for AI and data automation in accounting profession. First, accountants need to look at both how they can leverage AI and data automation to facilitate their role as auditors and accountants. There is also a large opportunity beyond the finance context to guide other departments in their use of AI and data automation to help with the design of internal controls over their application. Next, by understanding the practical challenges and the skill required, accountants and machines can work together in harmony and increase efficiency and effectiveness. Although AI can perform complicated work, they are not able to make decisions based on a wider context unless that data can be codified. Professional accountants are able to work with their client to present solutions and options in a manner that is understandable. Automation brings out a picture of a computer imitating the behavior of humans doing the work, according to the David Chin, head of SCCA Malaysia. However, he does not believe such transformation will occur very soon. We can already observe how intelligent software and systems are displacing human tasks like accountancy. But don't forget that the accountant's job description has changed over time. They are no longer merely figure crunchers. Businesses look their finance department for strategic assistance in addition to compliance and cost-cutting recommendations. The robot will fall short on this interpersonal aptitude. As a result, the accountant's human touch remains crucial tool at this time.
Before moving on to the third issue, I will recap on the connection between data automation and AI. So data automation is a broad term that refers to a whole group of technologies, which is not just one. This has caused a lot of confusion about how AI and automation work together. Artificial intelligence can be a kind of automation, robotics, and software as these three sectors that the automation focus on. Next, automation is more likely to substitute human labor in tasks, especially those that are predictable and routine. For example, people who work with machines, handling foods, clerks like cashier or bookkeepers and couriers. This job or task is repeated and can be replaced by a data automation system as it reduces risk of error. The connection of AI with data automation is that these tasks might be replaced, but instead of generating routine outcomes, AI systems learn the data using the algorithms to find patterns in large quantity of data. In other words, AI imitates human intelligence and reasoning, allowing the system to predict and recommend what to do next, like human planning and problem solving. Every organizational function from finance, tax, HR, and IT to supply chain, regulatory compliance, and customer service is being transformed by robotics. Robotic here is, of course, we're not talking about industrial or companion robots here. Instead of robotic here means software robots that act as virtual employees, automating manual, repetitive activities at scale. So when a software robot that are already included with data automation system and artificial intelligence are combined, the outcome is intelligent automation. This combination changes everything about new technology like blockchain, making them much better. Intelligent automation technology different from normal IT automation, given the added layer of machine learning and artificial intelligence capabilities integrated with it. I'll give you a simple explanation on what is intelligent automation is. So, for instance, while filling the e-form for a bank account opening, if the customer missed to update a section or enter a wrong data, the IT system will reject the form and request for a human interference to correct the issue. This is an example on data automation because it does not reflect the routine and unusual occur, as well as AI making a conclusion to reject the form. However, in the case of intelligent automation, the system will identify the issue and self-correct the issue without any human intervention or interference.
As mentioned by the previous presenter, the connections of data automation and artificial intelligence (AI) as the emergence of new technology in accounting field is highly crucial, but there are some issues still concerning with the connections of data automation and AI. Hence today, I will be sharing on the particular issue to extend your knowledge based on my findings. Alright, let's get straight to the point, which is the main issue that arises between the connections of data automation and artificial intelligence, which is, can the data in automation be too big for an artificial intelligence system? To make it clearer, let me give you an example. We all know that the auditing firm use data automation to extract the data from the tax document and import directly to the tax return, and the AI system will continue its work to identify any potential tax fraud. But there is a possibility that the data extracted by the automation system might be too big that can impact the decision made by the AI system. As mentioned by Vladimir Kuleshov, a professor at Cornell Tech and a co-founder of an AI system, he said that all AI tools are being deployed to optimize decisions are still not there, either in terms of accuracy or explainability, or even both. Even though AI works very well, the accuracy still can degrade from a big amount of data.
For advantages, there are a lot of basic tasks that accountants do today can be done by AI and other technologies like software data automation, which make them easier for them to do. In this way, Accountants can use the time they use to spend on low value, low impact tasks to do things that are more important and worth their time. Adding AI to accounting operations that already use data automation can also improve the quality of the output by cutting down on human errors. AI can act like human in many ways, such as understanding what people mean when they communicate and using data from the past and adapt to a new task. It can often give you the most up-to-date information about your finances because it can process documents through computer vision faster, which makes daily reporting cheap and easy. This helps people get better and more timely information that they need to make quick decisions as they need. Auditors also use machine learning tools that can read documents like sales and lease contract, look for patterns and find unusual in it. This means that less time is spent on administrative tasks and more time can be spent on areas of the audit that require a lot of estimate and judgment. With resources, firms can enhance productivity by automating high-volume jobs and manual processes. Automation techniques like RPA and machine learning can do jobs like data entry and calculation cheaper, faster, and more accurately than humans. Many typical operations in public services can be controlled and automated centrally for increased efficiency and productivity.
Thank you, Faris, for the brief explanation on the advantages. There are two challenges that will be discussed in this presentation, which are the risk of cybersecurity and vulnerability through the new intelligence automation system and also the transformation in the accounting system effecting from the emergence of data automation and AI. Firstly, let's take a look at the risk of cybersecurity and vulnerability through the intelligence automation system. Any attempt at cracking or hacking financial system that can be automated with the use of AI learning system are theoretically much more effective and harder to prevent. There are 4 different types of cyber risks that were identified in such are tied in the usage of data automation and AI, which are abuse of privileged access, disclosure of sensitive data, security vulnerabilities, and denials of service. These risks are the factors that can be exploited by malicious users to access sensitive data that being processed in the system. To avoid this from happening, the involved company can implement a strict control over who has access to the system and a transparent and also a traceable entity that can be monitored easily. The second challenge that may be faced is the transformation in the accounting system effecting from the emergence of data automation and AI system. When a company adapts the intelligence automation system, it can result in a major overhaul on how the previous routine is conducted in form of the accounting and the decision-making process. The programmer or the IT tech that build or supply the intelligence automated system that is meant to revamp the system in place will have a perfect understanding of ins and outs of the interface and underlying system. Unfortunately, this is not likely to be the case as most senior accountants in the company are often linked with an older generation, which means there are need for an in-depth education of general concepts that they have not dealt with in the past. As the level of knowledge is at low point, the risk of misuse can be assumed to be high and fault occurring not due to the failure of the actual system, but instead from the misinterpretation made by the accountant due to lack of the system knowledge. Thus, this clearly shows with the emergence of data automation and AI can transform the accounting system, since the role of accountant will be adjusted from time to time according to the new intelligence automation system.
For disadvantages, the first is it requires a large amount of data, as data and quality are very important for intelligent automation to work well. The model cannot learn if they don't have a lot of good data. The data on transactional accounting data need to be well organized and being high quality. So it should be a good place to start when making the model. Many businesses, especially those that have complex and old systems that do not work together, will have a hard time with this in practice. In some cases, small businesses may not have enough information to come up with accurate results. This is also true for many specific problems. There may not be enough data for good models for many of these problems. Next, intelligent automation cannot be compared to the complexity of human intelligence because accountants do more than just keep track of accounts. They are consultants who help businesses with things like tax planning, operations, and more. Also, it is important to note that accountants work in a lot of different countries and jurisdictions. Artificial intelligence algorithms still cannot solve these complicated interactions that work across borders.
Alright, back to me again to discuss on the solution of this issue. The connections of data automation and AI system, or also known as the intelligence automation system, are no different from other IT systems, and the countermeasures are readily available under continuous development. Even though the accuracy of intelligence automation system has been questioned when involving large amount of data, however, there are many programmers still developing new algorithms for the automation and AI system to increase its accuracy. According to Kuleshov, the professor at the Cornell Tech, the company should come up with a well-defined set of data metrics to increase the accuracy of the system, and this will require the work of all departments, and they also could assess the performance of the system by measuring the difference between the system decision and also the human decision, and use the result to improve the algorithm of the system. The intelligence of automation system, which is the combination of data automation and AI system, has been used in many accounting firms to analyze data at high speed, which could be difficult for humans to do, and these systems also are rapidly changing the accounting industry. Toward the 21st century of modern technology, the accuracy of the intelligence automation system can be improved from time to time, since there are significant improvements in the development of the accounting software. So, accountants must be fully aware of the changes for them to understand their role and also responsibilities to avoid any problem happen in the future. This is because accountants and their relationship with technology, or more specifically how they work with and apply the technology in new and imaginative ways, will help them to define the new world of work. That's all from me. Thank you, and now I will pass this presentation to Mira Shazana to conclude our presentation. So, we had come to the end. In conclusion, a digital revolution is underway as the year increases, driven by a combination of AI and data automation in all forms. By adding both this technology to accounting operation, it can improve output quality and decision-making process. It can allow accountant to focus a high-impact, high-value task. Therefore, in the accounting profession, even though there is a reduction of accounting's work because of the new technology, accountants will need to embrace the rapid advance in accounting technology if they want to stay relevant in the accounting industry. This includes staying up to date with the technology trends, optimizing and adapting current accounting software to meet the needs of their firms, and being open to accepting and learning advanced technologies. Okay, that's all for our presentation today. Thank you for participating.